So let's start with the outline of a simple letter. So let's just say like an I. The whole plan here is to carve down at 2 angles from the sides down into the centre. So this is the centre line. Whoops. The amazingly drawn centre line. And we need to cut down from this side into there, and from this side into there. Now if we assume the grain is going this way, as it often does when we're carving letters, then we need to carve an angle down in this direction and an angle down in this direction. You can, of course, if you have a V-chisel that's sharp enough, come up this way and carve all the way along here with a V-chisel. But then even after that, I think personally it looks nicer to still trim down the edges with a different chisel, but that's a preference thing, I suppose. I just think it comes out a lot cleaner if you come down from the edges. Now, one of the trickier parts of letter carving, or I think it is anyway, is once you have carved out your middle section here, you really need to know how to finish off the ends, because you can't just carve all the way across. I mean, you could, but then your end here is going to be flat. So what do you do in that situation if you want it to look a bit more interesting and a bit more like letter carving typically is? Well, you make a triangle on the ends. And if you think about it, a triangle is really just the edge of a chisel, right? So that's a chisel, and it can come in and make that sort of triangle shape. So we're carving down here towards the centre from the edge. And then what you do is you leave a little bit of a gap there, and it'll be a little bit messy. You could start from the ends, but we're just assuming that we're starting from going up and down the sides. So we're carving these bits in. And then when we get to the end here, like I said, it's going to look a bit messy. So you're going to start by, you can start by putting a chisel cut in this section here. So you can put your chisel in there like that. Just imagine this is your chisel. And dig the corner down into this part, because this is the deepest area and this is the shallowest area. This is going up towards the top edge. Alright, I'll draw it in a different way to make it a bit more understandable. So let's assume this is our wooden board from a different angle. This is the direction of the grain. This is the end grain here. And this is where I started carving our letter, so there's our central line. And here's the end bits that I was just talking about, coming in like a triangle. So we've cut down this edge with a chisel, and we're coming this way with this one, so kind of like down here and down there. And then this one, this is where our triangle is being cut. So this is our lowest point, like I said before. And these two at the edge are the highest points. So you want the chisel to kind of come in at an angle up towards the edge, like that.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. So just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh,
Obviously there are a few more nuances and stuff when it comes to letter carving, especially more complicated letters like I did on this video. But hopefully what I've done on the whiteboard and the little bits you've seen of carving will help you kind of figure out that letter carving doesn't have to be some kind of mystical, unattainable thing. It's quite achievable, especially when you get to very simple, blocky type letters without any kind of, what do they call those things? Serifs, is it? The little like curly bits coming up? So I think that anyone can do it. It's kind of a bit like lots of woodworking things, like cutting out a mortise. It's very similar to that sort of thing, just at an angle, and you've got to make it look pretty. Mortises can look ugly on the inside, but with the letter carving, it has to look pretty. Thanks as always to my patrons. They get these videos about 2 days before anyone else, and of course they help support me do bigger and better projects. So I've got some cooler stuff coming up soon, although hopefully you'll think it's cooler stuff. And I hope you stick around for the next one of these carvings, which is going to be a rope border. That's the next one. How to do a rope border. So thanks for hanging around, and I will catch you next time.